10 years ago, I lived next door to a man who beat his wife and filed a false police report against me. Everyone believed his lies, until the day I got my revenge and made sure the world knew who he truly was. About 10 years ago, I lived next to a man everyone called Mr. Polite, but I heard the screams through the thin apartment walls when he beat his wife. Her name was Angela, and she was always covering bruises with cheap makeup. The landlord pretended not to notice, and the neighborhood just turned the TV volume up. One rainy Thursday, the screams stopped, and I heard glass shattering, followed by silence so thick it felt like a funeral was crawling under my skin. I called the police. But when they arrived, Mr. Polite told them I was the one who broke his window and threatened him with a bat. His wife, terrified, nodded in agreement, eyes hollow. They believed him. I spent the night in jail, cold metal bench beneath me, fluorescent lights buzzing overhead, wondering how the world could be so upside down. The charges didn't stick, but my reputation was gone. Neighbors who once waved now closed their doors faster when I walked by. That's when I decided that one day, I would get my revenge. I didn't have the money, the power, or the connections, but I had patience. I spent the next year rebuilding my life quietly, letting him think he had won. I'd see him in the parking lot, leaning against his truck with a beer in hand, smirking when he saw me. Sometimes Angela would glance at me from the passenger seat, her eyes begging me silently before she dropped her gaze to the floor. I started tracking his habits. He worked late Mondays and Wednesdays, came home drunk Fridays, and often left Angela alone on Sundays to watch football at a buddy's place. I learned where he worked, at a small plumbing business he co-owned with his cousin, and that he was skimming cash under the table, pocketing the difference. I kept a small notebook hidden under a loose floorboard, documenting everything. One night, I heard the screaming again, louder this time. I saw Angela run into the parking lot barefoot, blood on her lips. He caught up to her, dragging her back inside by the hair while she screamed, "Please, no." I called the police again. This time, they arrived too late. Angela showed up at my door the next morning, face swollen, whispering, "Please don't call again. He said he'd kill me if you did." She handed me a crumpled paper towel with a phone number scribbled on it. "If I disappear, call this." And she was gone. A month later, she was gone. Mr. Polite told everyone she ran away with a trucker. The landlord believed him. The police shrugged. I knew better. Her clothes were still in the apartment, her toothbrush still by the sink.